This is Ibrox.
So obviously he leaves, Murty comes back in and he brings you back in the first game, if I remember right, at Murrayfield. That game you scored two, and don't know if you remember, but you had an unbelievable ovation for the support. How good did that feel given the sort of troubles you had with Pedro?
Nah, amazing. Like, you know, I've always said, like, the fans are unbelievable. They gave me an incredible reception that day. I think it helped that we won the game, by the way. It helped that we won the game.
Been getting food, I figured, mate.
I was getting something. Miller's fault again, but it was great. Good game. Got a couple of goals. Great to be back. You know, like I say, I trained every day. I was training every day, every week. And again, the way I looked at it is, listen, I know I wasn't going to be involved at the weekend, but it was even to the extent some of the boys were saying, "Oh, you'll be involved this week. You've had a poor result. You'll be involved this week." I went, No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And by the way, I'm not just talking about my mates who were in the team. I'm talking about guys who has signings were even saying, "Oh, sure, you'll be fine. You'll be back in this week." I'm like, no, this guy's fucking lost the plot. I'll not be in.
Was there motivation for you? Obviously, you've seen the character. You would train your best every day regardless, but was it in the back of your mind, obviously, you were probably thinking, see if I'm going to keep training well because I know I'll be here longer than him?
No, never thought that. Never ever thought that, because all I'd done was, my role now was, so when he's doing his the way he worked and his preparation, trying to prepare the team to win a game, my job was to be the best I could be on the other team, to help the team be ready for the game. Yeah. That was it. That was my role. Train hard every day, come in, again, just do what I've done every day all my career, not just under him. Every day, train hard, train right. My job was to help the team be ready. Right. So I had to do that. That's what my role was at the end of my time there as well, because again, we'll go into that as well, but it was just that's what I had to do. Obviously, now when he left, I managed to get a chance to go back and play, and that's what you work for. You know, you work Monday to Friday to play that game on a Saturday, and I'd missed that, but there was nothing I could do about it. You know, you control what you can control. I can't control what somebody else thinks or the actions that a manager's going to make. All I can do, like I said, there was never a falling out. There was never a falling out. It was a few things happened that weren't they falling outs, but a few things happened I'll not go into. But I trained every day, smiling, shakes your hand, good morning, blah, blah, blah. You go out and you train. And that was it. I just never had my game at the end of the week.
Yeah. So as I say, obviously you worked your way back in, but then we get to, so you were doing well in that season when you got back into the team, and then we get to that semi-final game, sort of infamous game where we lose 4-0. As a fan, we lose the game, disappointed, got the road, and we think that's the end of it. But obviously something happened between that time, the end that made it was your last game for the club. On the back of that, Lee Wallace never played the game again. You were kind of scapegoated again. What happened in that gap in between to make that happen?
You know, like I said, I touched on you before, like in football, things happen in dressing rooms. Mm-hmm. And when emotions are running high at the end of an Old Firm game, when you've absolutely been battered again in a national semi-final, it was unacceptable. Again, certain things happened within the day, again, with your brother, that were, for me, absolutely unforgivable to do that to somebody. Mm-hmm. And it was just, again, there was none of the stuff, the speculation that there was literally the captain of Glasgow Rangers addressing his teammates to let them know that kind of stuff's not good enough. That is it. That's where it went. And then there was a bit of to and fro, again, there was things going on at half time in that game. If people were ranting and raving, no me, no Waldo, other players ranting and raving and going off, and staff members going off because we were getting pumped again, the Celtic. And at the end of the game, it was much of the same. But for some reason, because it was me and Lee who were actually having not even a pop, just actually letting us let's speak, addressing our teammates. That, you know, there's a feeling, right? When you're in a situation with people, you've got vibes of people. And in the dressing room at Hampden, I pretty much sit right in the middle when we're there. So my gear was always in the middle. So probably half the boys down to the right, half the boys up to the left. We're in the home dressing room. And after the game, nothing was said. Nothing was said. So the boys are sitting, and there's like silence. And I can remember as clear as day. I kind of was looking about and thinking, fucking, do I say anything? Do I no say anything? I've not played. Like, fucking hell. And I knew what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
I knew what was going on. What I mean by that is, I got back in, Robbie, like he says, against Hearts, and I played pretty much every minute, every game, until I went down injured at Easter Road. I can rip my hamstring at Easter Road in the 8th game in a row. Played every minute. I think we won 6 and we got beaten 2. We lost to Hamilton and Dundee. I think that was the old headstand game. So we lost 2, we won 6. Had some really good results against Aberdeen. It was a double header against Aberdeen over that moment. We beat them at Ibrox 3-0. We beat them with 10 men up at Pittodrie 2-1. Again, I'm captain of the team. Came straight back in. Big Waldo's injured. I'm captain of the team through that spell as well. Straight back in against Hearts with the armband. Great. Buzzing to be back. Like a privilege and an honour to wear the armband as well. I got injured. Robbie, I started one game when I came back after that.
Yeah.
One game. Like, that's not right. It just doesn't make sense. One game I started. What was the game? The game was the week before the Old Firm game. The 4-0. They beat Dundee 4-0. So I scored opener. Like, that was my only start the second half of that season. It doesn't add up, Robbie, you know. Like, people can say what they want. There was a reason why I wasn't playing.
Mm.
So I'm sitting there anyway. So I'm sitting there thinking, did I say something? I know what's going on. I know I'm going to be finished at the end of the year. And I looked along and I seen Tav. And literally Tav, I caught eyes with Tav, and Tav was like looking at me and he was like saying to me,
and you got to say something?
And I was like, and I sat, and just when that happened, Big Waldo started just fucking letting the boys know, having his view. He's obviously sat and watched the game because he was injured. And listen, things then start to, because other people chirp in off the back of it encourages debate. I then say my piece, and then that's it. Next minute, you know, obviously all hell breaks loose after the aftermath of it. But I'm actually thinking, what the fuck's going on? You know, there's nothing that's happened in that dressing room to what happened in a million other dressing rooms that I've been in. Have you muted yourself there, mate?
Sorry?
Very well, that's better. I couldn't hear you there. So I don't know, mate. Listen, there was, without going into major detail of what it was, there was no anything in any other dressing room. I've said that openly. It was just a horrible way to finish, you know, like fucking heartbroken, actually. And I know Waldo feels the same. Heartbroken it went that way. It didn't need to go that way. But I would say there's people within the club at that time had agendas that was to suit their own, you know, self-preservation, things weren't right at the club. And ultimately, again, off the back of another Old Firm defeat, there was a couple of scapegoats made, and it was me and Big Waldo, which, just like I said, you're absolutely heartbroken that you've gave so much of your career and your life to that place, and it means a lot to you, and then you've been kind of treated that way. And that says I had to leave. I wasn't allowed back into Murray Park to see the boys, to see the staff. I had to go back in to get my stuff when there was nobody about. So I don't know what day it was. It was a Thursday afternoon, 3 o'clock. I was allowed to go back, get my stuff. Might have been a wee bit earlier actually, because I think wee Jean was still up in the kitchen. The kitchen staff were there, but that was pretty much it. There was there wasn't any bodies about, no staff about. So I left actually with a black bag, and that's it. Maybe about had a wee walk out onto the training pitch. Had a wee moment, and then fucked off. That's it.
Which to think that over 3 spells, had 3 Premiership winning medals, Scottish Cup, League Cup, and for you to finish on that way just seems strange. Because even what you're describing, I mean, I played junior football, and if you lose in that manner in a semi-final, that's par for the course, that sort of reaction. So, listen, you've touched on it anyway. I think you kind of covered it all, and I appreciate your honesty there, mate. So, disappointing way to leave the club, but I'm pretty sure the overriding feeling looking back on your time is one of positivity.
Of course it is. Listen, that'll never ever be taken away. I said that before. Like, football's, listen, it's football. Listen, in this day and age, like, it's a different. Football's always going to be the same in terms of the game and how it's played and what you need to actually do to actually have a career in it. But it is different, and there's a lot of things that are surrounding football these days, and it's sometimes there's decisions that are made that are not actually in the best interest of football clubs. But listen, like you say, no bitterness towards the club at all. It's I had 8 years there in total, unbelievable years. Like I say, met some amazing people, played with some top players, had some amazing times, great memories. Like I said, for me, I was built to play for the club. I want a winner. I want to win. I've got the right standards. I never took that jersey for granted, or walking into Murray Park training every day was never taken for granted. It was appreciated every day, and like I say, loved it. So absolutely nothing but positive memories. Yeah, disappointed in how it ended. It didn't need to end that. That's the thing. It didn't need to. Because see, I knew there's a time you're going to have to go as a player, but it could have been managed so much better. You don't need to force me out. You just need to be honest. If you're going to go off on a different road, just tell me, Kenny, listen, you're 38, you need to get to, we're going to move on, we're going to go down a different road. No problem, I've had my time, I've had my time. But I really believed even off the field stuff, I could have still had a role to play, and helping this next phase come, because having the experiences, again, when I touched on it earlier about Davis and McGregor, they've been crucial to coming back into the football club. Forget how good the players are and their abilities, it's about their mentalities. It's about their winning mentality. It's about the fact, again, they thrive on that environment. They're playing in that pressure cooker. And that's what, and I felt I could have helped that over the years, even after finishing playing. But listen, it was taken away, and that's football. You move onwards and upwards. You've got to move on to the next stage of your career. And that's obviously what I've done initially, playing. We stint in playing management, which I loved. And then obviously now on to coaching in Australia.
Fire's raging, I'm shaking. You wanna